My name is Olivia Garcia, and I am a patient navigator. Patient navigators guide patients with suspicious findings, such as tests that show that they may have cancer, through and around barriers in the complex cancer care system to help ensure timely diagnosis and treatment. They also serve as a single point of contact from referring physicians, patients, and caregivers to provide resources and assistance with accessing clinical and supportive care services offered within the community. Nationwide, diabetes rates have nearly doubled in the past 20 years, from 5.5% in 1994 to 9.4% in 2012. More than 29 million American adults have diabetes, and another 86 million have prediabetes. There are two types of diabetes. If an individual is unable to produce a sufficient amount of insulin, then that individual has type 1 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is when the individual doesn't respond appropriately to the insulin their body makes. Having high blood sugar can be deadly. Type 1 diabetes occurs when your immune system, the body's system for fighting infection, attacks and destroys the insulin-producing beta cells produced in the pancreas. Scientists think that genes and environmental factors such as viruses that might trigger the disease could also be the cause of type 1 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, which is the most common form of diabetes in America, is caused by several factors, including lifestyle factors and genes. As mentioned earlier in the video, diabetes in America is constantly increasing. Type 2 diabetes can be prevented. The Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, shares the following information. Research suggests that 1 out of 3 adults have prediabetes. Of this group, 9 out of 10 don't know they have it. 29.1 million people in the United States have diabetes, but 8.1 million may be undiagnosed and unaware of their condition. About 1.4 million new cases of diabetes are diagnosed in the United States every year. More than 1 in every 10 adults who are 20 years or older have diabetes. For seniors 65 and older, the figure rises to more than 1 in 4. Cases of diagnosed diabetes cost the United States an estimated $245 billion in 2012. This cost is expected to rise with an increasing diagnosis. My grandfather was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes last year. From personal experience, I know how overwhelming hearing the news may be. Everyone is different and knows what works for them. Something that I could do to make a difference is hold a meeting groups for individuals who first find out they are diagnosed with the disease. Knowing the next steps and understanding how to control the blood glucose level can be crucial. I could show the difference in the 2 different types of diabetes and then have a PowerPoint demonstrating both types. I could also share my PowerPoint that I have made about the prevention of diabetes in schools and offices. It is as follows. Diabetes prevention. Prediabetes. Nearly 25% of Americans have thought to have prediabetes conditions. This means that they have a slightly elevated blood sugar levels. This often turns into diabetes within 10 years. Tips to reduce the risk of diabetes. 1. Measure waste. 2. Consume more dairy. 3. Eat more vegetables. 4. Cut down on carbohydrates. And 5. Stop smoking. 1. Measure waist. 35 inches for women and 40 plus inches for men can increase the risk of diabetes. Losing weight as little as 10 pounds can reduce the risk. Exercise. Walk more. This means parking the car further in the parking lot or go out walking with some friends. Moderate exercise can help the body utilize insulin more efficiently. It also provides the cells with energy and nutrition. Consume more dairy products. The food we put into our bodies affects one's body's sugars. Studies show that women who consume more than 1,200 milligrams of calcium and 900 IUs of vitamin D daily were 33% less likely to develop diabetes. You want to aim for at least 2 servings daily. This means replacing fruit juice with milk in the morning or having a yogurt for lunch during the day. Every serving cuts the odds of insulin resistance by 20%. Eat more vegetables. Consider cutting back on red meat. For in-between meals, look for fruits and vegetables. They are digest more slowly and they are higher in calcium. They are also better sugar blockers. Cut down on carbohydrates. Become conscious of the amount of carbohydrates being taken in the body. It increases your blood sugar. If you're going to have carbohydrates, try thinking about switching to whole grain pastas and breads. Stop smoking. Studies show that there is a correlation between smoking and the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. The longer one smokes, the higher their risk. Things to remember. Get blood sugar levels tested every 2 to 3 years. Talk to your doctors about the risk for getting type 2 diabetes. Take steps to prevent diabetes now. Find ways to stay calm during your day and keep track of the many ways you are moving more and eating healthier and write them down in a journal. Recommendations. Change will come more easily if everyone is involved. Patients of overweight children should help to take responsibility and encourage healthy eating and physical activity to their child. Conclusion. Understanding environmental factors can contribute to a better understanding of the nature of diabetes as well as contribute to tackling it. A healthy population requires a healthy environment where all have the ability and opportunity to follow a healthy lifestyle. I think I did represent myself professionally. I thought I had good posture throughout the video and I wore plain professional clothing. Patient navigators need to be understanding of the patients, and I believe I represented that correctly. I explained how diabetes, if not treated, can be dangerous. I also explained how individuals may or may not even realize that they have diabetes. I also listed the changes that an individual can make to prevent them from getting type 2 diabetes. A behavioral change must be made for an individual to live a long and healthy life. I did explain the cause of the problems in the video. I clarified that type 1 diabetes is when the individual does not create enough insulin in the pancreas, and type 2 diabetes may be caused from not being able to use the insulin that their body does make appropriately. I explained that diabetes in America is increasing due to sedentary lifestyles. I provided facts and research to prove this point with the PowerPoint that I created that I would show in schools and offices. My solution of presenting PowerPoints to offices and schools provided knowledge to the individual. It is important that everyone knows the risks of diabetes and understands ways of how it can be prevented. I believe that even kids in schools should have knowledge about diabetes and it should be taught in their health class. What I did best was that I provided information and research on current studies about diabetes. I allowed my viewers to follow along and provide them with information that I felt was needed to be shared. At times I found myself not looking at the camera. That is important for nonverbal that I realize that I need to work on. Thank you for watching.